So, folks, one of the main questions that people ask all the time is how do we combat Donald Trump? How do we go up against this? Because the guy is still here and he just won't go away. There's always been those running jokes about, the world just exploding and the only thing left will be Keith Richards and a cockroach. I think that Donald Trump has long passed both Keith Richards and the cockroach as the one thing that just refuses to go away. And so the question becomes, well, how do you combat it? And it's a hard thing to combat because you're dealing with somebody who has no morals, no values, no principles, and they're completely unashamed. They do not care how much they insult somebody. They do not care how much they shred the Constitution. The Bible doesn't even play into their life. It's just a stage prop they use from time to time to try to gain a few votes. So it's really hard when you're dealing with people like this. And that's why that I've always said for a long time that it should be mocked and it should be ridiculed. And I feel like that it should be by the mainstream media, but they've completely dropped the ball on this one. And so you have to go to independent media to be able to hear someone really criticize Trump and do so with facts and with evidence and with reason. That's the thing. We're not sitting here jerking this stuff out of our ass. I've been accused of, you guys try to find anything you can to argue with Trump. No, I just show you what he said. You're free then to see it and realize that he's screwing you or not. That's on you. But no, we've just been covering it. We've been pointing to this stuff. We've been saying it's not normal. And I believe if the mainstream media had to double down on him as hard as he claims they have, then I believe that we wouldn't be sitting here today. I really do put a lot of the blame on the mainstream media because they criticized every move Joe Biden made, and they gave Donald Trump the microphone, and they never one time fact-checked him in real time. They never one time did anything. They just stood there and let him lie his ass off until he got reelected. And so I'm going to play you a couple of clips here from one of my all-time favorite actors, Robert De Niro. And I know that he really gets under Donald Trump and MAGA's skin these days. All I can say is that I'm extremely glad that De Niro shares these viewpoints because there's so many actors and so many musicians from my childhood that have been ruined once I hear their politics and hear their racism and their bigotry and their bullshit. So it's good when you've got one of the greats. And to me, De Niro's got to be in the top 5 of all time. So when you have one of the greats calling it like he sees it and not backing down, I appreciate it. I will always appreciate Robert De Niro. So take a look at this first clip.
No, I like what Newsom has done because he's trolled him and he's fought fire with fire, and that's what you have to do. And he called him an invasive species, which is what he is. And so he's not. He's a thing that doesn't understand. Trump does not understand anything about humanity, people. He has no empathy. I don't know what he is, but he's an alien. And he wants to hurt this country. It's something deeply psychological in him. He wants to hurt people. He wants to hurt this country. He doesn't care. And what saddens me the most, upsets me the most, is that people follow him and they think and they kiss his ass and they look up to him. And I don't understand it. I don't understand the people in his cabinet, some of them, Rubio, other one, how they can live with themselves after what they've allowed him to do and not stood up. Even walk out of the room when what they did with Zelensky the first time. Rubio, looking at his face, they got the camera on him. If he had balls, he would have walked out.
I have been asking myself this ever since Donald Trump came into the political arena. I've been saying, how do people follow this guy? I'm never surprised at scumbags. I'm not. I'm never surprised when a scumbag acts like a scumbag. They're going to. I'm just always surprised when people falls for it. I'm always surprised when people are willing to just let someone get away with it. But I really do believe a lot of this falls back on people just wanting to live vicariously through him. And what I'm about to say will probably piss off a lot of the MAGA that hears it, but I don't really care because I know I've already pissed you off at this point. But I really do believe that the MAGA base, they hate not just black people and not just gay and trans people and not just people who live differently than them, but they hate liberals. They hate the left. They have such a disdain for us, and I really do believe the main reason why they hate us so much is because we're smarter. And because we call bullshit on them, and because they want to live in a fantasy world where everything is hunky-dory in their world and where they get to say anything they want to say unchecked. And so when one of us comes along and checks them, that's what really rattles them. I can't count the people that from the other side who have messaged me to go, Brando, man, I'm never going to comment on one of your videos again because I just tried to get in there and have a conversation with people and your followers just eat me alive. I don't know if that's how they actually talked, but that's how they sounded in my head when I read it. And I go back and I read what they said, and they said something racist. They said something over the top ridiculous. They said something that was so offensive to men and to women and to blacks and minorities and everyone else that my followers called them out on it. And when I go looking to see what it was that my followers said that hurt their feelings so bad, it was a fact check. It was a racism is bullshit. It was we should all hate Nazis. Somehow or another that made my followers the bad guys. No, it made the person that jumped in the comment section an idiot for thinking they could get in there and say that stuff and go unchecked. But I really do believe that that's what MAGA wants more than anything is no accountability. They just want to be able to be the racist assholes they are with no one ever checking them on it. But like De Niro points out in this next clip, you got people like Letitia James who's not going to back down from Trump, and that's what we need more of. But my followers called them out on it, and when I go looking to see what it was that my followers said that hurt their feelings so bad, it was a fact check. It was a racism, all hate Nazis. Somehow or another that made my followers the bad guys. No, it made the person that jumped in the comment section an idiot for thinking they could get in there and say that stuff and go unchecked. But I really do believe that that's what MAGA wants more than anything. They want to be able to be the racist assholes they are with no one. But like De Niro points out in this next clip, you got people like Letitia down from Trump, and that's what we need more of. But my followers called them out on it, and when I go looking to see what it was that my followers said that hurt their feelings so bad, it was a fact check. It was a racism, all hate Nazis. Somehow or another that made my followers the bad guys. No, it made the person that jumped in the comment section an idiot for thinking they could get in there and say that stuff and go unchecked. But I like what Letitia James is doing. She's fighting back. She's saying, fuck you. I'm sorry. This is where we are. She's saying, this is it. I will not be taken down by this person. I am not afraid of him. And God bless her for that. Mm-hmm. And that's how other people have to be. I saw a thing about ICE going in and getting some lady, a black woman who was saying, she was really on. I was on the news. I was watching it yesterday. Somebody sent it to me. Mm-hmm. She laid it in, and those ICE guys, they knew that she was right, and they better not mess with her. And that's what you need, people who are saying, I've had enough of this. And we've all had enough. It's right in front of us. People have to stand up, do it nicely, peacefully, and all that. You don't want to give him an excuse to do what we all say he would want to do, and call it the Insurrection Act and all that. And that's exactly what I've said to you all here on the channel. Before we went out on No King's Day, I said, listen, don't give them any reason. Don't be violent in any way. Be peaceful. And we saw on No King's Day that it was a peaceful protest. And, it did not fit the narrative of Donald Trump. Of course, he said there was barely any turnout at all, and that didn't represent the American people. But folks, I do believe it did represent the American people, represented a whole lot more of them, because there was more people this time than there was the first time, and I think there'll be more people the next time. I had a friend of mine say, do you think we'll have another protest like this? And I was like, as long as he's in office, we're going to, because we have to stand up to it. And the reason why that people tunes in to independent creators, because I hear so many people say, well, you ain't no journalist, you're just some dude, you're just a former musician sitting in a chair. Who are you? Well, people want someone who will shoot straight with them and who will call this out for what it is. And when you turn on mainstream media, they just sit there and completely play with it, and they let it go, and they brainwash it and normalize it. And as far as De Niro dropping the F-bomb, it's funny to me how the hosts are, and he's like, I'm sorry. He should never have to apologize for that. No one should ever. We should be allowed to go on mainstream TV and say any damn thing we want to at full volume, because as long as Donald Trump is in, he's the one that needs to be held to account, and he never is. So I won't be shocked if I see people talk about, De Niro's got a potty mouth, but then they'll cheer Trump when he does it. That's the level of hypocrites that we're up against. But it's just great to see people who don't care to use their platform for the greater good. I understand that not everybody wants to. It's your business if you don't want to. But I can't imagine going through this day and age and not being more like Robert De Niro. if I had have put in the career and the work and the body of work that Robert De Niro has put in, he doesn't owe anybody shit. He's one of the greats. He doesn't owe anybody anything, and he's an American who earned the right to criticize. He was born with the right to criticize. The Constitution gives him the right to criticize. So, to work in this country and to be one of the greats who have entertained us for years. Now, if you don't like what he's got to say all of a sudden, you're mad at him. Oh, God, De Niro's went political. De Niro's went woke. If you say the same thing about Kid Rock and Ted Nugent, I might listen to you. But as long as you're quoting them and then you're going over here and criticizing De Niro, get out of here with that. It's got no place here. But I'm a huge De Niro fan, and I've, had several heroes over the years let me down. He's one that has it, because anytime he gets asked, he just shoots straight with it, straight with the truth, straight from the hip, and that's what you have to do. You have to stand up to this stuff. You have to mock it, ridicule it, and call it out for what it is. You can't sit and same-wash it. That's what the mainstream media did, and I think that's a bigger part of the reason why we're in this boat. So I want to thank y'all so much for supporting what I do here on the channel. We're closing in on 1 million subscribers. We're getting there slowly but surely, and I do believe that we will. I really appreciate y'all to help me build such a platform, and I always say that this platform was built by people who believed in freedom and believed in truth and believed in democracy and believed in people having rights and just basic human decency. And so I appreciate y'all so much for coming along on this crazy ride with me. It's only going to get crazier, but we'll keep putting in the work. I say that all the time, and I mean it. We're not going to back down. We're not going to give up. And I think more people like De Niro should speak out, because there could be that one person that just, for whatever reason, needs Robert De Niro to tell him it's okay. I know that sounds funny, but there could be that one, and that just keeps the ball rolling. So the more people speaks out, the better off we're going to be.